Hello dear friends, I Dr. Singh welcome you all on my YouTube channel Pharma Learning. Today I will discuss with you about a topic which is very important and which is very useful for the students. That is what is pharmacovigilance. What are the role of pharmacovigilance? How pharmacovigilance program of India is useful for detecting the ADRs. So basically, whenever we go to start for the pharmacovigilance, we should know that why there was a need of pharmacovigilance. Question is why there was a need. Because either there was some of the drugs which was found to be not safe, and there was some drug which was found to be showing some ADRs in our body, and it might be related to the dose of drug, it might be related to the direction of the drug, it might to be related with the particular any other substance which are taking along with the drug. So this means firstly anything which happen with the drug. So one thing is a drug, another is a poison. So how we can differentiate that what is poison and what is drug? So dear friends, a drug can be a poison and a poison can be a drug. So how you can differentiate? Only the dose difference is there. Suppose if you are taking any drug at a high dose, this drug can act as a poison, and if you are using any poison at a low dose, it can be act as a drug. So this is the difference between the dose, and this statement was given by the scientist Paracelsus just a number of years ago. So that means what is drug? Any chemical substance or anything which is having a potency and efficacy. That means any substance which when administered through any route is responsible to produce some of the effects in our body. So if the effects are away from the therapeutic effect, they are called as a side effects. Now if their effects are against, that means they are producing some risk, they are producing some harmful effect, they are producing some unintended effect, that means their drug is producing some adverse drug reactions. So dear friends, it is important to know that no drug is a safe, and every drug can be safe. So this is the statement because dose only difference between the drug. Now if I will discuss that drugs which were available in the market, they are from 18th century. Suppose I will discuss you that there was availability of ether, chloroform, halothane, procaine, cocaine, they are from 1836 to 1848 around. So that means if such type of drugs which was available a number of years back, that means at that time there was a issue of the drug with the safety and afterward with the efficacy. Now first thing, it is must that we should look for the safety of the drug. So that's why after the availability of ether and chloroform around in 1836 to 1848, there was lot of instance which was happen. That mean the number of peoples they were dead. The reason only the availability, the reason only the higher dose of these type of substance, if was intended, if was used, then there was a problem with the adverse effect, then there was increase in the incidence of the death. So that's why there are number of other compound. The well known example is sulfanilamide. So sulfanilamide, it was a one of the sulfonamide. That means the sulfonamide which was be discovered by the scientist Domagog with the availability of prontosil, and afterward with the availability of sulfanilamide in the form of a elixir in the presence of a ethyl glycol. So ethyl glycol was the solvent which was used to dissolve the sulfanilamide at that time. It was around in 1830-36. Now at that time, what was happened? This compound sulfanilamide had been reported to cause a death, and this particular problem, due to this death, there was increase, or there was a activation of the some of the agencies, you can get some of the authorities, which they in the USA, they firstly invent the Food and Drug Act. Though that act was Food and Drug Cosmetic Act around in 1838, around in 1938 1940. So that mean, due to the availability of this act at in 1940 and its rule regulation in 1945, they were only looking for the safety of the drug. So that means only the particular question was on the safety, that we should never use any drug which is unsafe or which is toxic for the humans, which is toxic for the human health. So what was the problem? If this was the problem, that means their preclinical toxicity was not well analyzed, because whenever you see that we go for the drug discovery, we always initiate from the preclinical to clinical. So but there are lot of limitations in the preclinical analysis. The limitation could be due to short term analysis, the limitation could be due to the narrow window exposure, that means we never expose a lowest to large dose of the drug. So some of the thing at that time might be happen, and due to these things, whenever there was a no any finding, that preclinically it has been found that sulfanilamide elixir was toxic. That's why there was a availability of the act which is called as Food and Drug Cosmetic Act by the USA. Now another thing afterward, they again were looking for the safety. That means there was availability of another drug, that is a thalidomide. So this thalidomide, which was used for the motion sickness, and it was recommended for those persons who are unable to get a better sleep. So that means this drug, which was known to cause lot of side effect around in 1960, and the first effect which was reported was a phocomelia. So that means this drug during the second last or initiation of third trimester of pregnancy was responsible for the half limb formation, that is called as a phocomelia. And number of the pregnant women who have taken this drug, they were suffered. Not only happened with this, lot of other drugs like zetifloxacin, and there was, you can say, cimetidine, so many other drugs, they were found to produce a lot of ADR. That's why, due to these type of the problem, there was invention of the pharmacovigilance. So what is pharmacovigilance? I will tell you, because this word is made up of two words. Pharma, it means drug, it means medicine, any agent which are you are using for the prevention of disease, for the treatment of disease. And this co-vigilance, co mean there is a link between pharma and vigilance, and vigilance is to observe, vigilant is to watch, and vigilance is to look for the things which are going on after taking the drug. So similarly, you can say what it do. The pharmacovigilance is the science which is responsible for the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of ADR. So that means the science which is responsible for the detection. So first thing, we should detect the ADR. That means detection is major part. I will discuss in this presentation that how we detect, how we analyze, how we understand, and how we go for the final, you can say, conclusion. Now first thing is to detect the ADR, and if you want to detect, you know that whenever a drug move from the preclinical to clinical, and then from the clinical to post marketing surveillance, there is a need of pharmacovigilance. So it is not any restriction that we always allow pharmacovigilance to look for a new drug for 1 year, for 2 year. It can be for 4 to 5 years. So that means after once the drug cross the clinical trial and drug is available in the particular area of any country, and this pharmacovigilance will be active at that time to look for any type of the ADR which are associated with the newly available drugs. It can be with alone drug, and it can be if drug is recommended in combination with other drugs. So that means this pharmacovigilance is responsible for the detection during the post marketing surveillance. This is called as a phase 4 of the clinical trial. Now, the second thing is assessment. So, it is very important that we should assess the ADR. So, assessment mean we should look that what is the lowest limit of ADR, what is the, you can say, acuteness, and what is the chronicity, what, how much it harm to the patients. Assess that. So, they are assessing. So, assessing mean anything if you want to assess what exactly it is. So next is to understand. That understanding is very important, and because in understanding they want to know that whether the drug was misused, whether the drug was taken at a higher dose, or whether the drug was taken with other combination of another drug without any recommendation, or whether it was due to some other reasons like indications was not be there. So how to take the drug. So after then there is a prevention. So how they go for, so ultimately how they go for, they look for the patient care and health. That means they only do the safety analysis and they go for the efficacy analysis. So suppose this is a well-known example, dying from a disease is sometimes unavoidable, but dying from medicine is unacceptable. So that means we cannot say that we didn't need any drug. We always needed drug, but drug should be safe. And if it is unsafe, then will be under the complete surveillance. So this is the history of this pharmacovigilance, that how it was initiated, because in USA it is known to be initiated in the mid of 19th century, and after then in China around in 1971, after then followed by Japan and some other countries around in 1968. But later on in India, the ADR monitoring 12 centers was there around in 1988 to 1982 to 1988. Afterward, WHO ADR WHO allow because there is a big role of WHO, World Health Organization, because this is the organization who completely tie up with many of the country through Sweden. Because I will tell you, because there is a national pharmacovigilance center. So there is a center for the control of this ADR. So this WHO ADR 3 center at the time of 1997 was there. That was AIMS, CAME and ZLN. After then followed by National Pharmacovigilance Program. This was in 2004 to 2008. And after then there was a Pharmacovigilance Program of India. The name was given in 2010. So that means it is initiated from 1980 around, and it is completely in the working stage from 2004 to 2008. Nowadays in India, pharmacovigilance is working very well. So they completely watch about the analysis or assessment of any type of the ADR. So what are ADRs? So basically ADRs are the noxious and unintended effect of the drug. So there are two things, either intended, that means the effects are known. Suppose I will give you, if you take a atropine, I know that atropine is a anticholinergic. If you take a dicyclomine, we know that it is a anticholinergic. So if you take any beta blocker, we know that beta blocker can cause hypotension. Beta blocker can precipitate asthma. So this means this is intended. We know about that. But if it is a new drug, they are called as unintended, and this is due to lack of efficacy, which can be due to either at any dose, low dose, medium or higher, or any other dose, or it can be overdose or by the misuse of the medicine. So that means these are the ADR which are important to be vigilance by the pharmacovigilance. What is the significance of pharmacovigilance? It is very important to know, because significance how it play a number of role in the society for the drug safety to improve patient care and safety, because this is must that we always use a such type of drug which should be safe for the patient. Second, risk and benefit assessment of the drug. This is very important, that if suppose the pharmacovigilance get a lot of signals, lot of ADR from India, or any Sweden will get a lot of ADR from other countries, then they should decide. They have to decide on the basis of risk and benefit, whether if they want to withdraw any drug, then they go for the risk and benefit analysis. Suppose if they are looking that the risk with any drug is more, then if there is a no any other drug that can be used instead of that, then we have to use that drug under the surveillance. So other, if there are availability of other drugs, suppose I will give you example of cimetidine. If cimetidine was withdrawn, it was out marketed, then there was availability of ranitidine. So that means here we will look for the risk benefit assessment, but in case of risk benefit assessment, we will see that if there is any alternative which is available, then we should never take a risk, we go for the benefit analysis. So that means we should prefer the second drugs. Identification of previously unrecognized ADR. Suppose if was unrecognized, same thing was happened with thalidomide and sulfanilamide. Once they were again analyzed during the preclinical analysis, and they found that sulfanilamide and thalidomide, they are toxic. So that's why we should know, promote rational and safe use of drug, and promote medical education. It is must that all the professionals of medical and pharmacy, they should know about the drug, they should know about the indication, they should know about the dose. Next is drug dose relationship. So it is must important that we should always look during the preclinical analysis, and it must be there after once the drug is available for the post marketing surveillance. Sometimes ADR could be due to age, sex or gender. It might be there because sometimes you know that levodopa can respond to one area of the word, there will be a better tolerability, and in some case there will be a less. Clonidine is an antihypertensive and is used in USA and other countries, but in our country we use angiotensin receptor blocker or ACE inhibitors. So that's why the choice of drug can vary. So what is PVPI? This is PVPI that around in 1888 there was a scientist Lorry. He showed that chloroform was used in 4,000 patients without any fatality. No death was reported. 1975, 336 patients they were found to suffer from ADR. Dr. Mole Thomas, he was a clinical pharmacologist, and he found in the Christian Medical College that he was the first person who started the formal ADR reporting. Afterward, DCGI established this pharmacovigilance program in the India and published information of ADR for the mankind. So that is very important to know. So this is about the evolution of the drug, that is availability of this diethyl glycol 1936-7 in USA, and there was availability of Food Drug Cosmetic Act. Afterward, there was a lot of other instances, yellow card, that is responsible to be produce some of the ADR in UK, and afterward you can say there was a continuously surveillance about the such type of the instance that are being happened. So this is must to know that whenever anybody, suppose this is a national union for the pharmacovigilance, this is DISCO, that is the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. These are the national advisory committees. These are zonal centers, regional centers, and peripheral PVPI. So it is very must to know that all the medical colleges, they are linked with the pharmacovigilance as per MCI, Medical Council of India. So there are two things, one is CDSCO, another is DCGI. So they are under the health ministry. So they regulate number of the rules and regulation about the drug utilization, about the drug pricing, because GCGI and CDSCO, these are the two things, which is CDSCO which regulate, that mean number of rules about the drug safety. So whenever they found any signals in the local area, that is sent to the zonal area, and zonal area will communicate with the national PVPI center, and this national PVPI center will send information to the main center where it is located in the Sweden, where the national coordination center is there. So these all you can say any patient. Now it is must to know that any layman patient can report for the ADR. Now there is availability. Pharmacists, nurses can report for ADR. Doctors always, that was the first, during the old time only authority was with the doctors, so they can report the ADR. ADR is available in the different language. This form can be downloaded from the Google site. It is available in English, it is available in Punjabi, it is available in Hindi, it is available in Urdu, it is available in many languages. So if any person of any state want to read ADR reporting form, it is available in their own language. The second thing, PVPI software is also available, that can be downloaded and that can be used for the reporting of ADR. Likely you can see here, patient directly report ADR to the main centers, and these main center, that is ADR research monitoring centers. Afterward, there are some other journal centers or other, you can say, industries. They send for the ADRs, even though sometime the industries, they are regulated to check for the ADRs. Suppose it was due to formulation problem and it was due to some other reasons. So that means ultimately all the reporting are through the this main center, which is available in the Sweden, where there is a core training team and group members are there who look for all the problem. So this is the, that is VisiFlow software, which is used to share the information from this Sweden center, main center, toward the WHO, and the data which is available is called as a VisiBase. So that means data cannot be shared until unless it is completely once it is analyzed. So firstly, data has to be analyzed by either the local steering committee of India or by the committee of Sweden. After once the fully data is analyzed, then it is available on the website as a VisiBase. So it is very important that you should know that what is PVPI, what are the role of pharmacovigilance, and you all are welcome to this channel. You must like, subscribe the pharmacovigilance, and in the next video I will discuss with you what are ADR, how they are reported, what is signal generation. So I will discuss all the thing with you all. So thank you very much and welcome.